Disney's Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point is one of the most talked about private islands. But what is it really like when you step off the ship? Today I'm going to take you on a full walking tour from pier to Serenity Bay, sharing tips and tricks as we go so you can plan your perfect beach day. Welcome to Cruise on Demand, where cruising smart is always on the itinerary. I'm your host, Tina Altman. Let's cruise in. The very first thing you'll notice is the pier. It's long, but surprisingly manageable. There are complimentary first-come, first-served wagons for families. In addition, Disney provides golf cart rides for those guests with mobility issues. Rather than filming the walk to the tram, we decided to walk the approximate half of a mile straight to the tram without stopping. We timed ourselves, and from gangway to the cold washcloths at the end of the pier took us exactly 9 minutes and 45 seconds. Once you step off the pier, you'll arrive at Mabrika Cove, which is like the island's welcome plaza. I was so excited to get to the beach, I forgot to film this part. At Mabrika, you'll find a coffee shop for both non-alcoholic and regular coffees for that caffeine kick, the location to check in for boat excursions, and a little pop-up stand called First and Last Chance. And it's true to its name. It's the first and last place to grab things like sunscreen, sunglasses, or a last-minute souvenir. As we leave the Mabrika Cove and head towards the tram, here's a little background about Lookout Cay itself. Many people call it Disney's private island, but technically it isn't. It's a part of Eleuthera, one of the Bahamas' largest islands. Disney purchased about 750 acres, with almost 200 acres being donated back to the government of the Bahamas. Not only that, but Disney committed to only developing around 16% of its space, keeping most of the natural beauty untouched. That balance between development and nature is something you'll notice as soon as you hop on the tram. The ride from here takes just under 12 minutes, giving you plenty of time to enjoy the views and get a feel for just how much untouched land surrounds the guest areas. One item of note, if you've purchased the Disney Wi-Fi package, it does work on the island. Although I'll say it's pretty spotty when you're actually on the tram. Once you settle into the beach or the cabanas, the signal's a lot stronger. If you purchased a family cabana in the Mabrika Cove, you can actually walk straight to it. You can see the cabanas in the distance from the tram. Those cabanas are great if you want a private beach experience or an amazing view of the ship. But just know, you'll be a tram ride away from all the major activities. Stay tuned, and later in the video, we'll peek into a Serenity Cabana, which is just like the family cabanas at the Mabrika Cove. The tram will drop you off at the Goombay Cultural Center, which is the island's hub. An important tip, make sure you grab your towels here as soon as you get off the tram. This is the only towel station, so if you miss it, you'll need to come back later for your towel. It's also a great place to refill your water. Staying hydrated is key, especially since you'll be spending most of the day out in the hot sun. And just like on the ship, here at Lookout Cay, you'll have access to free soda and water refill stations. We'll show you where they are as we tour the resort. First place you'll see as you arrive at Goombay is guest services and the Port Adventure check-in building. There are several excursions you can book here on Lookout Cay, but I personally think saving your money and enjoying a day at the beach is the way to go. Of course, it wouldn't be Disney without a little shopping. And here at Disney Tings, you'll find exclusive Lookout Cay merchandise that you can't get anywhere else. Think beachwear, hats, and tote bags designed just for this island, along with classic Disney Cruise Line gear. They also carry plenty of practical items like goggles, sunscreen, water bottles, and cover-ups in case you forgot to pack something. And if you like collecting island-specific souvenirs, this is the one shop you don't want to miss. Across the way from Disney Tings is Treasures of Eleuthera, a shop that highlights local bohemian artists. Here you'll find handmade jewelry, wood carvings, decorations, straw items like bags and hats, as well as local artwork that celebrates the culture of Eleuthera. Every purchase supports small businesses and craftspeople from the island, so it's a great place to shop if you want a souvenir that's both authentic and meaningful. It's a very different vibe from Disney Tings, but together they give you the best of both worlds. Disney exclusive and treasures of the islands. The final place to the tram stop is Plates and Pleats, where you can have your hair braided by locals. The Goombay Culture Center is located in the middle of the activities on Lookout Cay. If you go left, you'll make your way to the adult side, known as Serenity Bay, and to the right, the family side. Since we're traveling without kids, we're going to start our tour on the family side and then backtrack to the adult side of the resort. As we walk around, you'll see what makes this destination so different. Disney partnered with local Bohemian artists and architects to design an island with a very intentional style, one that reflects the culture and the natural beauty of Eleuthera. You'll notice the buildings don't have hard straight lines. Instead, their shapes have curves and flows, inspired by shells, ocean waves, and conch spirals. Even the pavilions are built to look like giant seashells resting on the sand. Disney also wanted the island to feel authentic, not just themed. That's why they wove in Junkanoo influences with bright colors, local art, and even music that's being rearranged to Bohemian styles like rake and scrape and calypso. And one of my favorite details is the walkway raised above the ground in so many areas. It helps protect the island's natural landscape while still giving guests a smooth way to get around from pavilion to pavilion. The first pavilion we're stopping at is Sensation Smoothies. This location has unique frozen and specialty drinks that you can't get at any of the other bars. And it has a great deck that overlooks one of the busiest spots at Lookout Cay, and it has to be rush out, gush out. This water park area is packed all day long, kids and adults alike splashing under pumping waters and playing with drums, darting through sprays, and racing down slides. It's easily one of the most popular play zones on the island, and for good reason. On a hot Bohemian day, there's nothing better than cooling off before heading back to the beach. And from the deck, you can also see the Blue Hole Bar out there on the right. I'm going to speed up the camera as we make our way down the raised pathway. You'll notice how beautifully Disney has blended this space into the natural surroundings. On the left, the beach and the blue skies peek through the trees, while on the right, you see luscious greenery that makes you feel more like you're on a nature walk than just heading from spot to spot. Even sped up, you can see how open and breezy it feels. One of the many little touches that makes Disney's Lookout Cay so easy to explore. Here we are at one of the bar pavilions, the Blue Hole Bar. Each of these shady spots is more than just a place to grab a drink. They're designed as little hubs of convenience. You'll always find the bar serving up cocktails, mocktails, or cold sodas. But right alongside, you'll also have a restroom and an outdoor rinse station. It's the perfect setup if you've been in the ocean or stretched out in the sand and need to freshen up before heading to your next activity. Disney really thought about the flow here, making it easy to relax, recharge, and get back to the beach. Or go get some food, which is where we're off to next. As you make your way down the family side of the path, you come up to True True BBQ. This is Disney's main dining area on the island, and it's included with your cruise. One of the best parts, free soda stations and soft serve ice cream are available all day long. So you can stop in whenever you need a cool treat or a quick drink. And like I said, always stop by the water stations and get water because it's really hot outside. But unfortunately, the barbecue spread is only served between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. So be sure to plan your beach time around those hours. You'll find all the classics at the True True BBQ. You see the 3 stations in the background. There is closed right now, but you'll find barbecue chicken, ribs, burgers, salad, and even some island-inspired sides. It's casual, it's family-friendly, and it's the perfect place to recharge before heading back to the beach or sit on the sand. Now it's worth noting that True True BBQ isn't your only option. There are actually 3 barbecue pavilions across Lookout Cay, but they do all serve the exact same menu. But that way, no matter where you are on the island or where you've set up for the day, whether you're on the family beach, near the cultural center, or at Serenity Bay, you'll have a dining spot close by without having to trek all the way across the island. And if you stay with us until the end of the tour, we'll take a closer look at the food spread over at the Serenity Bay BBQ. It's the adults-only dining spot on the island. For reference, once you get past True True BBQ, you're about halfway down the family side of the island. And one thing I love about the island is you really can't get lost. Disney, true to itself, has these maps that you see on the screen. Probably every 2 or 3 pavilions, you'll end up being able to see a map again and figure out exactly where you are. I know when Lookout Cay first opened up, a lot of the cruisers were given maps in their cruise ship and their cabin when they woke up. We did not get one, and I couldn't fit any on the ship or anywhere on the island. So I do hope that's something that Lookout Cay changes. Here we've made it to Triton's Trumpet Stage. This pavilion is just a bathroom and a wash-off station. However, once you get to the end, it does have walk-out access to the beach, and you can see tons of open chairs here. There's also volleyball and some other games out here. I think a lot of people just go right where the water park is and never really venture further down. So if you're looking for a quieter stay at Lookout Cay, this would be the good pavilion to go to. It's the second to last pavilion. The only thing we have after this is one more bar. So you could even go further down to the very last bar and you will get a really quiet stay at Lookout Cay, even though it's a family side. And speaking of family side, the next thing that we're heading to is Sebastian's Cove. Now here's something I didn't expect to find on Lookout Cay. A full kids club area right on the island. It works just like kids clubs on the ship and it's designed for kids ages 3 to 10. Families can drop off their children here and the Disney youth counselors will take care of them at no extra charge. I wasn't able to go inside because it was open for families dropping off kids, but I was honestly surprised that Disney included this option on the island. If you want a little time to yourself or maybe relax on the beach or head over to Serenity Bay, you can leave your kids here knowing they are fully supervised and having fun. Inside the park is designed just for kids with colorful structures, small slides, even water jets and fountains shaped like sea creatures. The whole area is bright and colorful and playful and totally Disney. I never brought my kids on a Disney cruise, but they've always loved the kids clubs on the other ships. I think they would have loved Sebastian Cove. I'm going to go ahead and speed up the camera again as we make our way to the next pavilion. I know I said there was only one more pavilion, but there's actually 2 more pavilions before you make it to the nature trail. Both of them have access to the beach and many open chairs in front of them. The very first one coming up is the Play Pavilion, and this is located very conveniently after the Sebastian's Cove because it is the kids' play area. Unlike many of the other pavilions, Play does not have a bathroom or a wash-off station. It's more of a large open area concept, and there are a few picnic tables around the outside, but it's open and intended to play games. When we arrived, it was set up for fun, but no one was playing anything yet, so be sure to check your navigation app to know exactly what time the games will be playing the day you're at Lookout Cay. Leaving the Play Pavilion and heading to the very last pavilion, it's actually Wreath and Wreck Bar. But if you go beyond the Wreath and Wreck Bar, straight on this path, you'll actually run into the nature trail. We did not walk on the nature trail on this trek. It does take you all the way out to the lighthouse that Lighthouse Cay was named after. It's an actual local lighthouse that is still working, still has a light in it, but it's more of just a show now. But it was originally there when the island was built to protect the boaters coming around the island. Now we're coming up on Wreath and Wreck Bar. Just like the other bars, it does have bathrooms up front, wash stations on the side, and then the local bar. Remember, all the bars have the exact same drinks, so you don't need to go to one to look for anything particular. If you want a really quiet beach, this is a side to head out to. We're staying in the middle with the entire family area. You can see that this has the bar and some picnic tables. I don't know if you could see it just a second ago. There is a handicap ramp to get to the beach. All of the pavilions do have a handicap ramp in order to get down to the beach. And there are beach wheelchairs that will help you access the area as well. And again, all open lounge chairs. So if you get to the beach at the center right after the cultural center and you want to find an open chair and there aren't any there, just make your way further down either side. I've brought you back to Disney Tings, where we started our journey, where we headed right down to the family side. Now we're going to head left and head towards the adult-only Serenity Bay. Before we get there, we'll see plenty of other areas where families can go as well. We'll start our journey on the elevated boardwalks and go directly behind Disney Tings to the Goombay Cultural Center. It's the heart of Disney's Cruise Line's private island, featuring a multi-use facility for cultural activities. At the Goombay Cultural Center on Lookout Cay, guests can immerse themselves in Bahamian cultures through crafts, entertainments, and the celebration of Junkanoo. This is also the ending point for the parade for Junkanoo, which is of course led by our favorite Disney characters. As you walk through the pavilion, you can see families are already working on different arts and crafts that celebrate the Bohemian culture. They also have someone from the island answering questions right there at that table. Like all the pavilions, you can head outside the pavilion and go directly to the beach. This one you do have a really beautiful arch, which is great for pictures when the parade comes through and Mickey and all the characters are dancing in front of it. You will have to check your navigation times. We actually did not attend the parade. Their parade was at 2 o'clock when we were there, and we already wanted to head back to the ship. Once you leave the pavilion, you can see, again, just like all the others, there's plenty of chairs and umbrellas for families to sit at. But in this one, you can walk still on a cement path versus having to be directly on the sand. You also might have noticed that when you go to the beach, there's a section before the dune and then a section after the dune. A lot of the beaches have the chairs before the dune. You'll see later on in the video, Serenity Bay actually has them after the dune, and they're different in each area. So you'll have the beaches you just saw, and then that dune right in front of you with a walkway up, and then back to the beach. And you can see there are some chairs and a lifeguard out there on this side of the beach. If you walk up this pathway to the right, you'll see fins and things. This is where you would pick up snorkels or the vests that you wear when you go snorkeling. You can actually get the vests for free if you bring your own snorkeling gear. Something I didn't know until we got there. So if you like to snorkel, this isn't the best island for snorkeling, although you can go all up and down the beach. It's not a specific area like a Castaway Key. So if you bring your own snorkeling gear, just go grab one of those vests for free and then don't have to pack that. And I packed ours, but we actually didn't even get to go into the water the day we were there. We traveled during hurricane season, and there was a hurricane in the water prior to our departure out of Miami, our embarkation. And because that hurricane was still causing a lot of riptides in the beach, no one was allowed to get into the water until about 11:45, 12 o'clock. Might even been a little later, and we were already kind of done with the beach for that at that point, and we're gonna go grab our lunch and then eat and then head back to the ship. We keep making our way down the raised pathway where you can see the beautiful greenery on each side, and we're going to make it to the very first bar on this side of the cultural center, and it is called Bows and Ribbons Bar. Just like you would assume, like I said, it's like all the other pavilions. You have your bathrooms right in the front. On either side, you have your rinse-off stations. One thing that you'll notice, each of these pavilions have their own beautiful coloring up top. This one's that pretty green, flowery leaf color. They're all a little different. We come around this side to the bar. Again, each bar has the exact same menu, so it doesn't matter which one you stop at. You can get any of the same drinks, all with your either Disney Magic Band or Disney Plus band, or your sign and sale card. And again, this one has access directly to the beach. Very few chairs, but as you can see, they're all empty still. I swear we had a full ship. That's one great thing about the island. Only one ship gets to go to the island at a time. So it's just you and everyone you're on the ship with going to the island to enjoy it. So it does seem very private, very secluded, and you don't have to fight for chairs. So there's plenty of room. Now we're going to head up from the beach and head towards the food area. One thing you didn't see on the other side were all the pavilions where you could eat, all the areas where you could sit down after going to True True Barbecue. We're actually going to head towards the areas for True True Barbecue 2. So you'll see all of the 5 table and chair pavilions that you could get your food to and bring to after you get your food. Now, another thing to note is True True Barbecue 2 is where you will actually get your food if you have food allergies. So if you have food allergies the day before you go to Lookout Cay, you'll go ahead and tell your waiter what you want on the island dinner the night before. And then when you're ready to eat, your food will be prepared on a allergy kitchen and brought to True True Barbecue 2. This is where we're coming up to now. It looks the exact same as True True BBQ, has all the same food, but it is the location for somebody with allergies. If you have allergies and you're interested in what the food is like on Disney and how they treat people with allergies, make sure to like and subscribe the video so that way you know when I drop my next video or one of the future videos, which will be about how my husband's allergies were managed on Disney Dream. We were actually blown away with the way they handle food allergies, and he actually just has intolerances, but if you have an actual food allergy, such as peanuts or eggs that you have to carry around an EpiPen, Disney is the cruise to go on. It is completely different from any other cruise when it comes to food allergies. So make sure you subscribe to the video so you can see that video when we drop it. Here's one of the drink stations right outside True True BBQ 2, and you can see, unlike when we're on the other side, they are starting to open up. Food was not ready yet, but they were starting to prepare it, so they've opened the stations. You can go to each one of those stations for the different type of food that you want. It is separate lines. It's not like a buffet where you walk straight through it. You will see the buffet style when we go over Serenity Bay BBQ. Now there are two options of where you could go from here to get to Serenity Bay. You could either went past True True BBQ 2 and went down a road that just has trees and landscaping around it, but we decided to walk back through the pavilions where you can eat. Now, if you're watching old videos when Lookout Cay first opened in 2024, there were a lot of fly issues. If you'll see on the sides of this image right here, they have these big fans, and those big fans, there's 3 to 4 in each of the 5 pavilions that you can eat at. This side actually has 4. True True BBQ has 5 pavilions, and this side has 4 pavilions. And then right outside is the only stand-alone bathroom that's on Lookout Cay. The rest of them, all the bathrooms, I believe, are all in with the restaurants or bars, so this one's just a bathroom all by itself, right before you walk over to Serenity Bay. This bathroom also has one of the options for the handicap or mobile accessible accesses to the beach. You could go right through the bathroom and then down this ramp that we have in front of us coming up if you wanted to get access to the beach. The stairs are over there, and the other side has the ramp. And this is the last pavilion before you get into Serenity Bay. I went ahead and sped the camera speed up again. You'll see the cabanas right in front of you. Those are the cabanas for Serenity Bay. This is the adults only area of the island, so this is where guests under 18 cannot go. You will see that the beach for the 18 and under, and then the beach for Serenity Bay, they are lined. There's nothing blocking them, no trees, no dunes. They are completely connected. So if you want to have a very peaceful cabana, I would try to get the ones further in. You saw it started with F and it goes down to A, so as close to A as you can get. We're gonna go ahead and look into this cabana. I didn't get it, didn't ask permission, so sorry for whoever's room that was, but I just wanted to say a quick little look inside. So you can see exactly what it looks like inside a cabana. And then they're not all that way. If you go further down towards A, you will see they start to have a porch on the outside as well. So I think it starts here at this one. Maybe the next one, you have a porch to the right of your entrance. Yeah, right there. So the other ones are in the back only, and then this one has extended by having it to the right. So A and B are the larger of the cabanas, so keep that in mind when you're booking them, but they are the closest to the adult only side. That brings us to the very last cabana, Cabana A. After that, it actually walks you right into the Serenity Bay BBQ area, a little grassy area before there, so open beach between the cabana and then back to the actual open adult beach. So there's nothing stopping anybody from walking all the way from the Serenity Bay beach to the family beach. So they could walk right past the cabanas. There's your little doggy relief area, so if anybody has a service animal, that's where they're supposed to relieve themselves. Now you would walk through the barbecue area and the pavilion before you would get to this bar right here at the adult Serenity Beach. But I just wanted to skip here and walk you through the barbecue area later. This pavilion, like all the other ones, has the bathroom and then the wash-off stations and then the beach. Because it is Disney's private island, you can use your Magic Band to buy any of the drinks at this bar. But one thing to note, since this isn't actually a private island, you do have to bring your picture ID, whether that be your passport or your driver's license, to the private island, so you won't be able to just bring your card. Now I'll go ahead and take you down to the beach. You can see the first area with all the open chairs, and the reason they're open here at Serenity Bay is because unlike some portions of Lookout Cay, here at Serenity Bay you actually can have chairs past the dunes. So we'll go ahead and go over this little walkway that takes us past the dunes and then actually out to the beach with the actual water. So we'll go over and I'll just pan and show you really quick. You have the chairs pretty much right in a row right there, and you can see a lot more of them are full. It goes all the way down past the cabanas, and then just to the left just a little bit, and that is the end of Serenity Bay and the end of Lookout Cay. So we'll go ahead and come back from here and take you over to Serenity Bay BBQ, which is what you see here. So they have, that was a little dessert station that we just passed. It has a whole bunch of fresh fruit, as well as the cookies that everyone raves about. Yes, the cookies that you can get in room service, you can also get at Lookout Cay. Here is your drink station. They don't have a separate drink station out here. They actually have it connected to the main dining area. And now we're walking back to the desserts, giving you an actual look with it actually filled with food, because we got there before it filled up, fruit and those cookies that I mentioned. And then here is the restaurant itself. Again, Serenity Bay BBQ is much more of a buffet style than the other two locations, probably because it's adults, but I don't know why. You can get things, hot dogs, hamburgers, chicken, a couple sides that are a little more bohemian style, a lot of slaws. Now, one other thing of note, let's say you go out really early in the beach stay and you're white and you just don't want to stay and have lunch on the island, you actually can get all of the same food on the ship that day. We actually did not eat here on the island. We decided to head back up to the ship because really everyone, although you can't tell by the looks of the island, everyone actually was off the ship. So we walked back to the ship and got to enjoy the adult spa a bit. And if you're interested in seeing more information about the spa, leave me a comment below and I will add a video showing a little bit of the spa. But that's what we decided to do. So this is us heading on back to the ship. This is the entrance right before we just got off the trams. You saw a little red wagon to the side, and now we're just making our way back. And again, because it is not a private island, you actually do have security to get through. It's much simpler though than, although I guess most of them are simple in the Bahamas. You just walk by, show them your card and your driver's license, or your magic band and your driver's license, and they will just automatically let you through. If you made it this far, I want to thank you for watching the video, and I hope you enjoy your visit at Lookout Cay. Go ahead and leave me a comment and let me know if you plan on going anytime soon, or if you are more of a Castaway fan. And one last tip before I let you go, I would either decide to either come back to the ship or leave the ship at a slow time, because it's a great opportunity to take tons of pictures, and I'll show you as I walk back. There's rocks on the side where you can also take pictures of the ship, and then a spot midway where at some points they do actually have Disney photo people taking pictures, but you can also take pictures yourself later when they're done. And until next time, keep on cruising.